circle. All we do is this for my money makers. We use it to educate you. Movers and shakers, tell them how you get into the paper. On the winner's circle. On the winner's circle. On the winner's circle. This for my money makers. We use it to educate you. Movers and shakers, tell them how you get into the paper. On the winner's circle. On the winner's circle.
Welcome to the Winning Circle podcast, where we bring to you real people with real stories, real dreams, and real life accomplishments. I am your host, Sam J. Joining me, I have my co-host, Ms Pure Dj 6'5".
Hey guys, I'm your girl, Miss Kraze. What's going on, Detroit? Hey guys, listen, tonight we have a legend sitting with us. She's a female rap star, one of the biggest ones from our city. You can't mention female rap without mentioning her name. She ran rap in the early 90s with hits like Tell Me What You Gonna Do and Mob With Me. Some of my favorite joints. Y'all, she's the executive and director of, Autistic Place Autistic Center.
Autism Special Needs Center.
You
always
go.
mess my name up.
I'm sorry. My friend Kori Blake, also known as Bombshell. Y'all, please help me welcome Miss Shell Jones to the Winning Circle podcast.
Hey.
Thank y'all so much for having me. Thank you.
What up, Shell? Shell, I'm so glad you finally came and messed with us. You've been putting us off for a hot minute.
Oh, whatever. I'm always accessible.
Shell, what's been going on? We're going to talk about a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We can't miss, we got to start with the rap game, though, first and foremost. Do you miss it? What's up?
I do. I miss it every day.
You miss it every day?
Let me tell it, I'm coming back every day.
Every day.
I'm coming back. I'm just waiting on the dopest track to get in my hand to motivate me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You do plan on making a return to the game?
Yeah, but it definitely won't be on the secular end. I really my heart is in gospel. I want to do something, basically what I was doing over there in the gospel realm of things, and it ain't a lot of females in there over there, just like it ain't a lot of females in the secular end of it.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I always tell you, like, rhyming is like riding a bike you don't never forget, right?
Absolutely, Shell.
Yeah.
And I know you still got it.
Yeah, definitely. And I was always writing my rhymes, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know why they couldn't believe, you know what I'm saying? It was like, if you a girl, you wasn't writing your rhymes. I'm like, really? Is that really what y'all think?
She was writing her rhymes. She was definitely writing her rhymes.
I was doing the choruses too.
Yeah.
That's
and then one more question real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, 6'5". Go ahead.
I was gonna say, hopefully we'll get you to spit a few bars.
She ain't ready for that.
Right? Don't hear something.
That's a no.
You know what I mean? Been right. What we doing? You know what I mean?
I hear you. I always just like to come with the boom anyway. You know what I'm saying? Bombshell. Yeah.
What's up?
Right.
Right, because when you hear your name, I mean, people just know, Bombshell, you came up in that era. You was hot. One of the hottest things coming out of Detroit. So, yes, you were. How different do you think it is today from back then? Is it more today about popularity, over lyricism?
I mean, I still think it's the same. It's now that your street game now is like your street hustle. You don't do that no more. It's more internet. It's your internet hustle. Just in terms
Absolutely.
Digital,
right.
So
do you think
if you hustling hard on the internet, then
right,
you're gonna come
out on top.
Do you think
it's hard? I mean, easier for artists today because of the digital platform? Back in the day, it was about record sales. If your fans wasn't going in the store purchasing, your tape or your album, then you wasn't gonna really have them sales. So now, I mean, the artists, they on every digital platform. All you got to do is just a click, So you think that's why their numbers so higher? They can like reach the top of the billboards quicker.
No, I think it's the same scenario, the same gap that was being missed back then, that's being missed now. You got to have your business right.
There you go.
You can be getting all those swipes and all those clicks, but if they're not registered, then they really don't matter.
Exactly.
I think it's the same gap. So it's like if you're on a local level, you got to bigger because there's always another level to it, you know. So it's like, okay, well, how come I'm not selling, or how come I can't get the same number of, you know, swipes that this other artist is getting? And I know I'm better than them. They got their business together. They got their business together. And and I'm telling you, the forms that you got to fill out is like, you know how when you go to school, the first day of school, you got to fill out that same little yellow cardboard sheet. It's the forms are just like that simple, you know.
Simple.
Just don't do it. People just don't do it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got a question. I got a question real quick.
Sure.
With rap today versus back in the 90s. Okay.
Say it
Remember
again?
Smiley?
Yeah, Smiley, yeah.
Music today, and you know, with rappers like Smiley, you yourself, what's her name? What's her name?
Boss.
Yep, you have Boss.
Yes, yeah, Boss. They weren't as, you guys were not as sexual as the artists are today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give me your thoughts about that. I mean, because a lot of them, you know how they say, you know, it's the oldest profession in the business, sex sells.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and with that,
well, everything is an evolution. You know what I mean? So it's like the music has really evolved, and it was evolving when I came along. Like, I think Boss was before Smiley, then Smiley came, it was vice versa, and then I came along some years after, actually. And so it was starting to change then, because we were switching over from Brat. So it started to come in, you know how it's crazy. We went from the saggy pants and the boots, and then we went to the sexy tops.
Exactly.
You know, so it was starting to evolve then. It's just come, you know, full circle where, you know, and then look what's out there. You know, at the time I was out there, it was Brats and all of them. And then what did it go to by the time I had left the game? I don't remember, but it was evolving. So now look what you got out there. Now you got Nick and all of them.
Yeah.
You had the Brat, then you had Missy Elliott.
Foxy.
Little Kim was starting to change. She was starting to pioneer that change.
She brought that real feminine side to the game, and every female after her tried to.
Foxy, you had Foxy. Foxy was
Foxy Brown.
I think that was the beginning of the sexual era, along with the rap lyrical era.
Okay. I just think when you're an artist, you just gotta the good artists come out on top. The good artists, they just come out on top because they're not gonna stop grinding. They're gonna keep on. They're gonna find a creative way to break through the market. No matter what, they're gonna come through. They're gonna keep on top. It's just like to me, I always say when I see like people like Biz Markie, I don't know if y'all know, he was like he like co-produced that cartoon Yo Gabba Gabba. You know, like, so he was evolving. He's evolved from back that. Back. So now you got the Queen Latifahs who they got good agents. They had good business minds. The Will Smiths. You know, those type of people. You know, the ones that you don't see no more. They either have bold agents or they didn't have it in them as an artist.
You know what? To piggyback on that, I heard that Master P, he owns the you know how you got inmates, so he owns the whole thing where they could what is it, like the JPay? It's like where they could email. He got it to where the phone calls.
I forgot what that is
because his brother is in there.
Yeah,
I don't know if his brother's still in, but he owns all of that. I'm like, wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, he really paid attention, and he was a smart business guy. So it's moving for him. It's pacing him forward. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, he probably 10% rule.
I gotta jump in when I fit in, right?
Go ahead.
Come on, Pure.
Okay. So listen, I know it's levels to the game and everything, and you survived from then. Now,
right.
You know what I mean? So what were some of the trials and tribulations that you had to go through to get to where you are right now?
Right.
In terms
of the business, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. It was I always look at things as like everything is for a reason. Nothing happens for nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's always a reason that something happens. And so I believe that even when I was in the music game, I would oftentimes become offended for the simple fact that they would give me a compliment, but I was taking it as a derogatory remark. They would be like, you need to be in the business part of this. And I would get that all the time. And I'm like, why they can't, I can't rap to them? Like, what, I ain't good enough to rap, so I should probably do the other end. But what it was just like, it was a growing process for me. It was like I dabbled in the music. But when I jumped in the music game, people who knew me, they were like, what in the hell is she doing rapping? Like, you know, like I was the nerd, you know what I'm saying? I was always supposed to be that lawyer. Then I just started rapping. I just kind of, I guess, let my hair down for a couple of years, started rapping, whatever.
Right.
And it was cool. But you know what I did? I started having kids. So I started building my family. So it was like, what was important for me then started to slowly sink to the background, and the things that were important started to be important to me, like my kids, my husband, you know, my house, you know, that type of thing. It came to the surface, and so it was like, okay, what are you going to do now?
Absolutely.
You know, how are you going to do this? You know what I did? My firstborn. So my story is, I went into business, and it was, so I ain't gonna say it was a fluke. It was God sent, because my firstborn child is now 17, be 18 in December. He has autism, and I didn't know what autism was. Had never heard of it before whatsoever. But I'm gonna tell you. So Kraze, you know, Tutu used to do my hair.
Absolutely,
I used to do all my shows, whatever. So her son, one of our mutual friends' son, is 6 months younger than my son. And so my son was kind of having some weird kind of behaviors. I really wasn't calling him weird, because I was like in heavenly bliss, you know. And the next thing you know, he was doing something. So I was over Tutu's house, and her son licked his tongue out at me, because I was playing with him, and I licked my tongue out at him, and he licked his tongue out back. Then the light went on right then and there. From that point, it was just like, I knew that if I licked my tongue out at my son, he wasn't gonna lick it back out at me. So what did I do? Went home, and I licked my tongue out at my son, and he didn't lick it out at me. And so I kind of knew at that point something was wrong. So then what I did was I went and had him checked out. He was diagnosed at 2.5. And it was just like, see you later, daughter. And so it was just like, oh man, you know, like, what can I do to get this kid where he needs to be? Because I'm not understanding what autism is. So anyway, that's how I wound up going into business. And I basically had to figure it out, you know. It was a realm that I had never been in before, because what would happen is I would take my son out, and he had some behaviors, like he would like maybe turn around, like spin in a circle. He wouldn't like to swing, or he was like crying or something. But it looked a little different. So people would stare and they would whisper, you know, and as he got older, you know, it just didn't get any better. So I wanted to create a place that a family that we could go as the entire family and just have fun, and nobody look at my son and be like, what's wrong with him? Or a kid come up to me, or adult come up to me, you know, they the worst, and say, what's wrong with your kid? You can't control your kid, or whatever. So I want to come across as the angry Black woman. So I basically set out to create this space, and I did. And it's like the only organization of its kind. Like we've gotten emails as far as Australia and South Africa, and they want us to bring that model there, because there's nowhere that our kids can go and people not just be tripping, they just be insensitive, you know.
Oh, it's so true, and it's amazing. And I mean, I personally, I want to talk to you more about that too, even after the show. I have a 9-year-old nephew who his diagnosis is Asperger's.
Yeah. So
that's what I say.
Just mean he has autism, but he's extra smart. He's extra smart. But you just have to figure out where it is. He's extra smart. If he has Asperger's, that means he's very smart.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like the top of, like, he's like almost like in a lot of areas he could be Einstein smart.
Right. Wow. Yeah, and he has to communicate. But he's got a weird behavior, right?
Yeah, he kind of he's a little off to himself. Yeah, you know, but it's okay. We all weird. Look at Kraze. You know, but that's how I look at it. I just say all of us got something weird about us, you know. So it's like,
we do, and then it's just had to learn how to communicate. He communicates differently. You know, like he could use a word and spell words I never would have thought. You know what I'm saying? That I can't spell.
Absolutely.
You know, and he can spell them out. You know, but verbally, you know, it's difficult or whatnot. So yeah,
now I'm gonna share with you a real quick story about a woman she's now a woman who has Asperger's. So she comes into my place, and she is, I think, around 32, something like that. Well, anyway, she graduated with 2 degrees from Wayne State, one in history, one in English. She graduated magna cum laude. I mean, she was like top of the list. Well, she's autistic. So socially, she has these deficits. So one day she comes into she's talking to me, she's helping me, she's volunteering, she's helping me, she's painting, right? Not the greatest painter, but I was having a conversation with her. She talking to me, it's all over my head about history. Not good in history, failed it. It just wasn't no good for me. And so I'm telling her, because I'm gonna be who I am all the time. So I'm just laughing like, hey, Natalie, you over my head. I can't understand a word you saying. So she comes back in another day, and this is to show you how smart she is. But then she comes back in the next day, and she's like, hey, Mrs. Jones, I can whistle. And you say, I'm thinking to myself, like, you got 2 degrees, you graduated magna cum laude. I know you can whistle. She wasn't whistling that great though, you know, but that's like, that's the offset of how like they're really smart, but then socially, a lot of times when they have Asperger's, it's just, you kind of just look at them like, man, you weird, you know, and you don't want them, you know, it's, that's my son. Even I know he weird, but I, you know, a lot of times I'm sitting there in the car with him and I'm looking, I'm like, I don't want you to be weird. Just don't be weird. You know, like, I know a lot of parents, you know, I mean, because I look at like, who would he be if he didn't have autism?
Right.
Not to say that I don't love this kid. I can love this kid to death. This is my firstborn. He's
gorgeous.
But it's like, oh yeah, my son is very, very handsome. Like the first thing you say when you see him, you just say how handsome he is.
His eyes.
But it's always that thought of like, who would he be if he didn't have autism? Right now he's 17. He's about to be 18. I'll probably have to be fighting him to stay in the house for this COVID stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He'd be driving. You know, it'd be a lot of different things.
He do drive? He drives, Jill?
No, I said he would be driving if he didn't have the autism.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. But you know how I just told you about Natalie? Natalie drives though. Natalie drives. Yeah, wow. Natalie, but it's not a lot of them that drive, you know.
Exactly.
But just because of the social aspect of it, you know, they don't make a lot of friends. I mean, I could tell you, like, if you came to my center and volunteered, seriously, like, you would fall in love because it's so much fun. First off, it's like a Chuck E. Cheese to loosely describe it to you guys. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese for families that have special needs kids, though. So we have a small restaurant, we have a hair salon, we have an art studio, we have a computer cafe, and I mean, mostly all of that stuff. We got a Lego castle where like the community came together and they built it for me. And it was just like, wow, you know, it was amazing because Michigan is #4 in the country affected by autism. And so we've got over 50,000 school-age kids, but it's over 87,000 kids in the school system right now that have special education tracks, that are on special education tracks. Okay. That's a lot of kids, y'all. Right. That's a lot of kids.
Now to get in, you know. Is there a waiting list?
No, so actually, again, I'm more of like a Chuck E. Cheese, like you just walk in. I have walk-in fees where it's $7 for the kid or the adult, because remember, it encompasses all the whole spectrum is all ages, you know. So these kids, like my son was 2.5 when he was diagnosed, but now my son is about to be an adult in less than 6 months. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So it's like, where does he go when he becomes 26? Because like, so in Michigan, you go to school till you're 26 if you have special needs. So from 18 to 26, they work half a day and they go to school half a day. Well, my site is also a work site for these kids to come and work and get the experience of like, and so my thing is always, I don't have them clean toilets, because that's like, so I learned the difference in business between janitorial and maintenance. Janitorial, you get the toilet. I don't have my kids or my Work Plus kids do the janitorials, and I call them kids, but they're not. Like some of them are 26, you know, 30, 40, but they my buddies, and it's just a general term for them, but they need somewhere to go too, and they want to have fun too, and they like the attention, the fact that just be my friend, you know. And I always liken this scenario of Pure. I'm sitting up here, I'm kicking with you. I'm like, I need them lower thirds, you know, hook it up. You know, you done woke up this morning with this big zit, right? It's the zit right here. But I'm talking to you, and you know I'm looking at that zit, right? You know when I'm looking at the zit, you know, and it's the same thing. They know when you're looking at them like, yeah, this dude retarded or something like that, you know. And that just, I don't know, you know, at my place, we get them all the love they want. I mean, and we just friends, and we ain't scared of them. You know, it's like, because there's some people that are scared of people with special needs, you know.
Right.
They are the most caring, loving, innocent people you're gonna ever meet. You're gonna ever meet. I think they are like a vision of how God wants us to live as a people, because they help each other. They don't care, you know. They like when somebody is nonverbal that comes in, like they'll have a class of, let's say 10. A couple of them that can't talk and will never learn how to talk. But their friend might say he doesn't talk much, but he likes this, and this, and this. And I love that, you know what I'm saying? And they're not making fun of him because he can't talk, they helping him. Wow. You know, so I really get rewarded. Yeah, I really get rewarded in this business. It's just a matter of just being creative.
I wanted to ask you also, how do the kids all get along? How does that work? You know, do you have to keep certain kids in a certain area, or do they tend to all get along, or how does that work?
So I'm presuming that you're presuming that some are bad or some are more severe than the others.
Yeah, some might have like certain issues with them that where they can't be around others, or you know, they can't.
No, they but their parents are always with them, but they can. But so listen, the trick to my place is it's fun. So as soon as they walk in, all of that anger, that tension, that stress kind of goes away because I have so many things that they can choose from, and it's an open floor plan, so they can run around and get some of that energy out of them.
Right.
But to answer your question specifically, kids are kids. If the brown kids play with the yellow kids, and the yellow kids play with the dark kids, the Hispanic kids. See, I'm just saying, generally speaking, they're all kids. Some kids are more social than others, and some kids just want to be left alone. You know, and we actually have birthed those kids. Like my kid wants to be left alone. One kid loves attention. My daughter doesn't like a lot of attention. So everybody different. So the ones that want to play with each other, they play with each other. The ones that want to bully each other, they bully each other too. I mean, because it's like bigger, little, you know, and we kind of watch it because they're not really bullying each other, but like they play rough. Some kids play rough, just like it generally speaking, some kids play rough, some kids don't. So you kind of have to watch them, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Or you gotta distinguish between this kid does not like to play or be touched. This kid wants to play and touch. He doesn't understand the cues, so he trying to play with that kid, but that kid don't want to play with him because he ain't play with him. I don't want to play with you today. You know, I might be in whatever, you know. But for the most part, everybody, and it's like it's a community for the parents, you know, because you get grandparents who are taking care of their kids because maybe they just at work or whatever, but they're raising their kids. And so I didn't really get that scenario until a friend of mine, he's now a friend of mine because he comes to play place a lot. He takes care of two twins that they're 8 years old, I believe. And he said to me, Shell, no, you don't get this. He said, I can't have a conversation with my friends no more because they in Florida. You know, it's wintertime. They in Florida. They snowbirds. That's what older people do. You know, when you become a grandparent or you retire, whatever, you want to go and you want a vacation in your house, you know, in your little vacation house or whatever. But they can't do that because they're here raising 8-year-old twins with autism.
Gotcha.
So their life is different. So like the friends that they created that life with and that are now retired and going through the process, they ain't going through the process. They done got stunted a little bit. And you know, it's wonderful that they step up, but it's also wonderful that Play Place exists for them to have a community of other people who going through the same thing. I got a lot of grandparents who come here and are raising their grandkids that have special needs. Matter of fact, I had a grandparent who met a dad who has 3 special needs kids, and they got married. Boom, Play Place.
What? Play Place. Okay.
A grandparent was bringing her granddaughter, and the dad was bringing his 3 kids, and they got married. They wound up finding each other, and they got married.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the families allowed to bring, say, siblings as well?
Yep.
You know, with the autistic
it's a family thing. Yep. Because they have just as much fun. My daughter and son have kids that come up, their siblings, and say, "Hey, is Kori here today?" Or they've exchanged phone numbers, you know, that type of thing. Because it's a family thing. It's an entire family thing. And a lot of times, what I get is with my volunteer staff, I'm getting the siblings, the neurotypical siblings of these kids that have special needs. They'll say, "Oh, my brother comes here. He has autism. His name is Sarab. He gets a haircut." Oh, I know exactly who he is. That's why I'm volunteering, because they need community service hours for high school, college credits. They need all of that. So they come to Play Place. And a lot of times these are siblings, older siblings of you know, or even younger, of the kids or adults that are affected. You know, that's just like if your mom had cancer. A lot of times, that kid is going to grow up and do something like that involves, you know, advocating for cancer. Might be a doctor or a nurse on the oncology wing or something like that. So it's the same thing over in the special needs realm too.
Okay, that's what's up. How long did it take you to really build your model to get it like you wanted? How long have you been doing this?
Well, you know what, it took me, I'm gonna say about 4 years, because I was building the actual place out like a year and a half because I was waiting on a lot of donated stuff, donated labor, equipment,
Oh,
money,
yeah.
all of that stuff. Because I didn't have the $1,700,000 that it took to build that vision.
Yeah.
So I kind of just played it. I'm a nonprofit, not a 501c3. And so like I said, 90% of that 1.7 million was donated.
Woo,
And
talk about that.
it took me about, I'm gonna say like the second or third
You
year.
gotta give a round of applause for that, boy.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. But I took a lot of my tactics and promotion strategies from the music realm.
There you go, Shell.
That was my
Exactly,
trick. They had never seen the
exactly.
stuff I was doing over here.
Right.
Promotion wise, they'd never seen it because it came from the music realm.
Right.
Talk
So
about
that
it.
helped me a lot.
And then it hadn't been done before, like you're doing it here, right?
It's never been done. Never been done.
Shell, can you tell a story about the lights? I remember you told me about the lights, how you had to pay so much money for the lights, the lighting in there, and then you got the call back that the was it the electrical company, they said.
So one of the main donations was the lights. So with autism, we thought it through very seriously, you know. So like autism, like you can't put like reds in there because like red, if you look at it, not even just in the autism world, red incites anger. So like when there's like angry scenes or something, you're gonna see red. So like different, like it's more of the muted colors, the blues, the greens, even the pinks, purples, yellows, light like the muted yellows. That's like, those are calming colors. So we wanted to make sure that was portrayed throughout the center. So then we got to the lights. So, and I know y'all know about it. So you got the fluorescent lights, those are the older lights. Then you got the LEDs. Well, you know, everybody's switching over to the LEDs. Well, in the fluorescent lights, and I know you've seen this, they flicker really, really fast. If you just really like pay attention to them. And you can also, if you cut, you know how sometimes you cut the lights off, especially in an office building, and you can still hear the buzzing from the lights, or you just, everybody's silent and the lights are on and you can still hear the buzzing. Well, with an autistic person, sometimes, because it just depends on their sensory issues, that is like amplified.
Wow.
It's, the buzzing is louder, the flicking is faster and brighter. So you didn't want to do, so I wanted to switch over to LEDs. When it got a quote. I mean, now I'm learning all of this from scratch, y'all. So I go, even just to build this place out, I go to the city because it's these codes and stuff. Knew nothing about it. Oh, yeah, you got to have codes, adhere to codes when you're building a house, right? So I go to there, I tell them I want to do this, I want to build this room. They send me back this invoice for $14,000. And I'm like, what's the $14,000 for? It's just to build them rooms out. I got to pay them to build my idea out. Crazy, right? So I'm sitting here like, wow. So when I go to the lights, you know, I done did a lot of, you know, just donation requests. I done go to the lights, and so I say, I go to the electrical company, and they go, it's IBEW, and they say, okay, we're gonna come take a look. Then they bring this other local contractor out to take a look. They come back and say it's about $200,000 for lighting. I'm like, $200,000. Oh my, like it's always these, you know, little hurdles I got to get over. And I'm like, $200,000. So then they put their heads together and they're like, you know, we didn't did work for Habitat for Humanity, you know, blah 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 blah, and we've never done we've never gone this high as far as a scope and money. So I said, you know, okay, so I lead them to believe that I'm going to get this money somehow. And my goal was to get this money, but I was running out of gas though. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, we right at the end. But see, the thing was, if we didn't get the lights done, we couldn't close the walls up. We had all the walls up. We couldn't close the walls up. So anyway, they wound up calling back about a month and a half later and said, we could do the whole job for you. Free.
God is good.
For free.
Yeah.
God is so good.
Yeah. And that's why I say I always have to give praise to him. Because it's no way that I could have done any of this without God. You know what I'm saying? Because it was that was like just one of those God moments where it's like, okay, you can't say that you're responsible for this, Shell. You can't try to even claim this, because you know this God, and you need to let everybody see that it's God. And you need to tell the story. This is my testimony, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is amazing. Tell people how they can, you know, where your center is located, how they can get in touch with you.
So I'm on and so don't get the tripping. So I'm on 17 Mile and Mile. It's a straight shot up mile. I don't want to hear that little joke about I ain't come across 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it together. All my people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come straight up 8 Mile. They ain't even gonna mess with you anyway if you ain't got no license.
Right.
And I'm right by this car wash. I got the signs up. Everything is real nice. You know, just come out and holler at me. You know, I mean, even just on some volunteer tip. What have you? You know what? Actually, right now I'm doing a bottle drive. So bring your bottles to me. You can't take them back. So I'll store them for you, and I'll take them back, and you'll be contributing to a wonderful, wonderful cause. You know, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here right now. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy out here.
Yes.
So now I want to give a quick word from our sponsors.
Okay.
Our first sponsor, Garrison Auto Glass, located at 13211 Dexter, or call 313-933-6000. The only shop in Detroit that opens at 7:30 a.m. They offer same-day service by appointment. Hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Contact Garrison Auto Glass for all of your glass replacement needs.
Hey.
Also, another sponsor is Purify Organic.
Yeah.
Food in a bottle. Yes. You are most definitely what you eat and drink, so eat to live. All alkaline fruits and vegetables. Purify Organics will help boost your immune system. Added bonus, it tastes so good. Text 313-444-3072 to place your order. If you are interested in being a guest or a sponsor, email us at thewinnercirclepodcast@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Shell, I want to Shell, where you at? You still
right
there?
here. Still got the issues, huh?
I can't see your face. You start talking on my end, unfortunately. But listen, so I want to know when you getting back in the studio, and I need a commitment. I need to hear it now on the Winner Circle podcast. And we're gonna hold you.
I was trying to bring one of my producers and one of my writers on to help motivate me through the show. You know, but we getting there. We getting there. It's I mean, it's a lot of strong talks about it, and I mean, if nothing else, I just need to do it just because.
Absolutely.
Then you gotta come back. You gotta come back and see us when you.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. I want to expose the new music for sure.
I would make you show them your recording studio that's just sitting there collecting dust. I really would make you walk around and show that boy sitting there.
Now you know before you leave. Now that you know before you leave, you know you gotta drop some bars. I got an instrumental for you. You gotta drop us some bars. I got an instrumental right here waiting.
Baby boy. I ain't got nothing for you, baby.
Some freestyle or something. You can do it. Didn't you just say earlier? You said it. It came out your mouth.
She said you're going to play that track. She said you're going to play that track. That's
right. Right.
Hey, you trying to put me on the spot.
That's my job. That's my job. I need you to drop some bars. Let everybody know you still got it, because you said it yourself.
I ain't got it.
You got it.
Ain't dropping no bars.
Some freestyle or something.
Come on, dropping up.
You ain't dropping nothing.
Come on now.
Look at it. You funny.
What you gonna do?
I ain't dropping up.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Come on. She ain't ready. She ain't got none. She was just talking.
I ain't got nothing for you, baby.
Come on, here we go.
Okay.
Hey.
Y'all want me to drop something?
Come on now.
You funny, dog.
Yo.
You ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
Don't do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
Ms Pure might hit a bar too.
See, gonna have you out.
I don't feel like cussing right now.
We can cuss.
I don't feel like cussing.
I don't feel like cussing right now or killing nobody.
No, Shell, but I won't do that to you, baby. I know you ain't really been working in the music. You've been dealing with the autistic stuff.
But I never did it back then. You know that about me. I never did that back then.
Freestyle?
No.
But you was hot.
You done been in a couple of sessions where you got
but you know what? What we didn't talk about was Kori Blake the Kori's Corner. What's going on? What's going on with that? You bringing it back?
No, you know what? I wanted to use some of those tactics that I used before. That's why before off camera we was talking about the lower thirds and the intro
I
page
got you. I got you.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's whenever.
Sure. I need you. I thought about you and I said,
yes.
I'm gonna holler at you about that. I'm trying to do something on the nonprofit end. Same round.
Okay.
Same round.
Yeah.
So I need it to look good.
I got you.
That's just one of the many things that I was stealing, from the music round. Because I don't know if a lot of like the nonprofits know about the fact that you can go to Comcast and get those slots and stuff like that.
That's what I was gonna talk to you about.
And target it. You can target where you want to hit. And I don't think a lot of people work. I don't think a lot of people work like that in this realm. Yeah. But of course, once you introduce it, they'll figure it out because you got all these people with a lot of money too. The big nonprofits.
Yes.
Easter Seals.
Okay.
I know y'all didn't even know Blue Cross was a nonprofit. Just
not at all.
No.
Profit. No. But that's one of the big money ones though.
Okay. A lot to learn from you, my sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's always been my business buddy right there. I know, hey, if ain't nobody doing no business, Pure doing it. You feel me? Pure doing it.
Listen. Listen. Pure doing it on some big red shit though.
Stop.
Hey, just a couple months ago, you was over there trying to Joe Jackson your daughter.
That nigga big red. She gonna dangle a nigga on a balcony about us. With love. She do it with love though. She do it with love.
Don't play with him, Pure. Don't play with him.
So we're gonna get ready to wind it down. Shell, we want to thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate y'all having me.
The new venture off the ground, we definitely want you to come back again. Okay. And join us. Right now,
come back when you start going in the studio. Can we follow you in the studio and get some of that new stuff?
Yep.
I'm gonna be right there with you anyway.
Definitely.
I'm gonna be right there with you.
Thank us on the gospel songs though, Kraze.
Yes.
Girl, come on. I do straight, come on, don't come at me like that. I'm versatile. I can do anything. Listen, did you want to give all their social media? Tell them the last thing I want to leave with is tell them everything about Play Place again with the location, the address, and the hours.
Okay, so go to new.artisticplayplace.org. New.artisticplayplace.org. That's my website. Let me see on Twitter. On Facebook, we're Facebook.com/Team Autism. And on Twitter, same thing, Team Autism, but it's TEEM on Twitter. And then follow me, Shell Jones, on Facebook. But I think my L's in Shell is ones.
Okay.
SHE11 Jones.
Okay, and what's the hours of the Play Place? What's the hours of your operation?
We open 7 days.
7 days.
7 days. Because we do field trips and all of that. We're open from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock, and then from 11 o'clock to 8 o'clock on the weekends. For Sundays, 12 to 5.
Gotcha. So this is a place you can have host parties for kids with disabilities.
Birthday parties, celebration parties, all of that. Yeah.
Next time you come on, I want you to give them a tour for those. Y'all, if y'all see this place, she just talked about it. When I seen this girl building this, I said, this is not happening for real. It's like, beautiful. Like, it's
I got a 46-seat movie theater too.
Talk about it, Shell.
Like real sound, all that. Seats, tiers, and all of that. Yeah, like the AMC theater was throwing away their seats, and they gave them to us, and then we got them reupholstered for free.
We gonna come.
Holla at me. So I'm on the donation. Just the promotion and soliciting tip. I'm pretty good at that.
Okay.
Yeah. And
that's
so
what's up.
We gonna do our reunion album. Show these young girls how we do it. We about to do that too. So
Okay.
I've been trying to get y'all on that. Listen, for real, 40 and over is what we're gonna call it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 40 and over. Dave, DJ Sixfifth, you want to take us off? Shell, we love you, baby. And I will be calling you.
All right, thanks for having me, y'all.
Hey, tuning in.
You doing great.
Probably